Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another video. Welcome to another episode of Evangelist Life. On this video, we are going to be riding through the city of Sheffield, Alabama, which is located in Colbert County. It's located in the northwest section of Alabama. This city is located by Shoals in Florence, Alabama. I just got done doing the Mr. Shoals video. It's on this channel, so feel free to go check it out. And I will be doing Florence, Alabama later, so stay tuned for that video. Now, on this video, I'm going to tell you guys right now, you guys are going to see some storm damage here. There was a tornado that swept through the city on the 24th of March of this year. So you will be seeing some damage. So, my prayers go out to all the people that are suffering through property damage. And I do not know how many people were hurt or deleted due to the storm. I meant to look that up, but I forgot. So for those of you that are suffering through any of that type of stuff, again, my prayers go out to all of you. And on that note, let's begin the video. Now, Sheffield, Alabama has got a population of 9,305 people, and the city has been losing population at a rate of 1.5% as of the 2020 census. And the crime in this city is, let's see, for violent crime, you got 77% above the national average. For property crime, you got 78% above the national average. And if you wish to live here in Sheffield, the median home price is at $101,000. However, my suggestion would be, if you want to live in one of the better parts of the city, my suggestion would be to look around for a house that's at least $120,000. And if you're looking at rent prices are going to go from the median rent prices are going to go from $570 to $1,240 a month. Let's see here. Let's look at some racial demographics here. Already, racial demographics here are 71% white, 22.9% black, 2.3% Hispanic. So, Sheffield, Alabama is actually the home of Arthur Alexander, who was a country soul music pioneer. That's what he was known as. And this city is also the home of some other musicians and just other people that made a big name for themselves, such as Really Rough, which he's a French horn player. Then you got Fred Thompson, who was an attorney as well as a former senator of the state of Tennessee. No, he was an attorney, a former senator, and a presidential candidate, and an actor. Yeah, he was from Tennessee. So I guess he was born here, and sometime in his life he moved up to Tennessee. Now I remember now back when Fred Thompson was running as a presidential candidate on the Republican side, I remember that because during 2000 that was during the 2008 election year. I mean, back then I was living up in Tennessee, so I remember all that. Then you got Howell Heflin, which, you know, he's the Watergate Committee U.S. Senator. Then you got Mitch McConnell, can't pronounce his name right. M lowercase c capital Connell. I'll just call him Mitch M, who is a U.S. Senator. Now in 1940, the Ronald Metal Company set up its first aluminum smelting facility here for the purpose of expanding aircraft production in the United States. And Sheffield was also the home of Musical Shoals Sound Studio that was located at 3614 Jackson Highway and later moved to 1000 Alabama Avenue, where many of the biggest hits were recorded at. The studio is to this day well respected throughout the music industry. And most of the music that has been recorded at that studio is going to be country rock. It's going to be country rock, and I also want to say jazz. But I think mainly today the music is going to be country and rock. Now, anyone that knows more, feel free to drop a comment below. Now, as far as some well-known people here, some other well-known people here. As I mentioned earlier, you got Arthur Alexander, who was a country musician. You got Gary Baker, well known for the song I Swear. You got Alfred Huger Moses. You got Alfred H. Moses. Alfred H. Moses, who lived from 1840 to 1918, who was an American banker and investor who founded the city of Sheffield, Alabama, and served as the first mayor of the city as well. And I did mention Fred Thompson, who was a former U.S. Senator from Tennessee and an actor. Okay. Anyhow, you also got Roger Dale Stafford. Well, this is going to kind of be a black eye on the reputation of the city, but it is what it is. But he was a serial killer. He committed 34 eliminations in 7 states. He lived from November 4th of 1951 to July 1st of 1995. Now, he was convicted, and he was convicted on the 3rd. Well, I think he was arrested on the 3rd of March of 1979, because when I did my research, they had his little mug shot, and on his little mugshot picture, he had the date that was posted was the 3rd of March of 1979. But all the people who he eliminated, those crimes took place in 1978. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, people. When I first came into Sheffield, Alabama, I initially thought Sheffield, Alabama was a small hole in the wall, maybe no more than 1,000 people or so. Just a small hole in the wall ghetto. Now, as many of you guys are able to see, this city does have its issues. This city does have its rougher areas. But here's the thing about Sheffield, Alabama. I mean, this city does have areas that are actually fairly decent. Like when you go towards the back of the city, there's neighborhoods towards the back of the city that are actually located by the Tennessee River. In fact, there's even a park. I mean, it's not a park, but there's even an area where people can park. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's even a walking trail down there where people can walk aside the Tennessee River. So, to my surprise, there's a lot of nice areas here in the city of Sheffield. It's not just all ran down ghetto type areas. Now, I would think that the city would have spent more of its resources on making the downtown area much more presentable than what it currently is. Because once you get past the area, which I'm driving through right now, like I said, once you get further into the city and you get towards the back of the city, going closer to the Tennessee River, you guys will see that this city does have some nice areas. It's got some very nice areas. So if you're looking to live in this region of Alabama, now granted, Sheffield, Alabama is not going to be quite as nice as Shoals or Florence. Now, I don't want to give out too much information about Florence, but I will say if you're looking to live in this region of Alabama and you're looking to live somewhere where housing prices are a little bit more affordable than Shoals and some of the other areas in this region of Alabama, this is going to be the most affordable city in this region of Alabama to reside in if you're looking to be close to Shoals and Florence. And like I said, there's a lot of decent neighborhoods to live in here in Sheffield. And I would say like I said, my suggestion is I would advise people to prepare themselves to spend at least $120,000 for a house here. Now, I would say in this current housing market, maybe you might be able to find something for $100,000, but I personally wouldn't go much under $100,000, because if you do, then you'll most likely end up in some of these rougher areas that you guys saw at the beginning of the video. Now I would say maybe around the half-hour mark, I'm just guessing, that's going to be when you're going to start to see some of the parts of the city that are in better shape, to where the houses are nicer, the yards are better kept. And this city even has a area where you have, now I don't believe they call it the historic district, but there is a part of the city to where they do have bigger, older homes that are for sale. I mean, well, they got bigger, older homes. Some of them might be for sale. And that area is also fairly decent. So don't make the same mistake I made when I first got here to Sheffield and only drive around the neighborhoods that are closer to downtown, going towards Mutual Shoals. I mean, because if you make that mistake, you're gonna think the same thing that I was thinking when I first got to Sheffield. That Sheffield is basically one big, massive ghetto. And like I said, this city does have its issues, but you'll see in a little bit here that towards the closer you get to the part of the city that's by the Tennessee River, those areas are significantly better than up here. And I would even say the majority of the storm damage that this city received is going to be off in these neighborhoods I'm driving through right now. Now, I know for me personally, I would prefer to live somewhere where the crime was a lot lower than what it is here in Sheffield. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take a stab at the crime data here, and I'm going to assume that the majority of the crime that is happening in the city is happening in the part of the city that's closer to Mutual Shores, the rougher part of the city. I'm going to assume when you get to some of these other parts of the city that are in better shape, you don't have all that crime going on in those areas. Now, I could be wrong. Anyone that's watching the video that knows Sheffield, please drop a comment below and let us all know what's going on here. Like this area I'm driving down right now, I mean, you look at the houses, you look at the yard, nothing fancy, nothing special, just regular houses. I mean, this area doesn't look too bad. This area looks like a typical working class neighborhood. I mean, it looks like the type of area where if you're looking to live in the northwest region of Alabama and you're not able to afford Mutual Shoals or Florence or some of the other areas that are a little bit more expensive, you can move into this area of Sheffield and live a fairly decent life, live in a safe community. I'm assuming the neighborhoods here are safe. They look safe, but again, looks can be deceiving, so I need someone that knows the area better to drop a comment below. And this city does have some natural beauty. I mean, it doesn't have quite as much natural beauty as other parts of Alabama, but it does have some. I mean, you still got your rolling hills here. Now, I would say some of the things that are going good for Sheffield is you're right by Mutual Shores in Florence. Now, of course, Sheffield in itself doesn't have a whole lot of amenities. And plus, the downtown is a little rough. So I would say those would be the major sore points for this city. That and the crime rate being as high as it is. But I feel if this city would clean up its downtown a little bit, give some of the buildings a facelift, and find a way to put some of the crime here in check. I do believe that this city would be a nice little city for people to live. So I personally see a lot of hope for this city. There's a lot of people of importance, people of substantial status that were born and raised in this city. So for those of you that live in this city that may not have any hope for yourself, maybe you could be the next big story that comes out of this city. Obviously, I mean that in a positive way. Alright folks, that's going to be my commentary. I don't really have much more to say. I don't want to keep repeating myself over and over, so you guys know what to do. So, as always, I appreciate every last one of you for tuning in to another video here. And remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. So everybody have a blessed one, and I'll see you on the next one.